Guys, we're friends, right? Well, the sign of a true friend is when they discover something good, they share it with you. And that's what I'm gonna do today. This is Loretta's British ginger tea. It is amazing. It's got 100% ginger, cinnamon, elderberry, and manuka honey. Gotta admit, don't know what manuka honey is. Not even sure what it does for you, but it just sounds healthy, so I need some. This tea is fantastic for boosting your immune system, helps you feel good, and you'll live out loud like our beautiful British friend Loretta. Please hit her up on Instagram, order some of this tea, and she is at farmers markets and pop-up shops everywhere. You gotta get some of this stuff. Not only is it good for you, but it tastes great. Loretta's British ginger tea. I got some, you need it too. Go and order now.
Hi, this is Melba Moore, and you're watching Rude Rangers TV.
You listen to Rudy Radio, powered by Rude Rangers Entertainment. I am Terra Renee from African American Woman in Cinema organization, and this is Talk with Terra, a show that highlights fantastic filmmakers, artists, and entertainers, entrepreneurs from all walks of life. We're committed to introducing you to individuals, organizations, and projects of which you're not necessarily aware. And we do this with the intention of uplifting, empowering, and enlightening you. So if you can, please share this episode on all your social media platforms. We'd also like it if you can text your friends and ask them to tune in. Well, today, audience, you're in for a treat. This is the final episode, actually, of our 22nd annual African American Woman in Cinema series. And as you have been listening, been highlighting some wonderful and powerful guests. And today we continue on that same track. We have our opening night host for the film festival, Miss Khalilah Webster. And we're so happy to have her here today. And you're going to know why momentarily. She is a media personality and also an entrepreneur. So welcome, Miss Khalilah. How are you?
Welcome. Thank you so much, Terra. That was a great introduction. I am doing well. I am doing very, very well. Thank you for having me.
Oh, well, it is my honor to have you talk with me today. So I want to share with the audience, as I stated, you know, you are into media. What drew you into media?
Oh, wow. Well, you may know this, but my background is in the performing arts. You know, I went to LaGuardia High School for the performing arts, the fame school that they call it. And my background is in theater and musical theater as well. And so I've always been in some sort of the entertainment business in that sense. When I was in high school, I used to model. I modeled for Call Kanai. There was a brand called Call Kanai in the 90s. Also, Twism, which was Shaquille O'Neal's clothing line. It was a sports brand, and I used to model for him as well. But I got into acting. I loved it. But it wasn't something that I was really passionate about. It wasn't something that I saw myself doing in the future. And so when I went to college, I decided to major in broadcasting and communication arts. And that's when I started to hone my skills in the areas of mass communications. I did some stuff on the radio, on my college campus. And then I started learning a little bit more about production and media and producing everything, directing. So I did it all. And that was literally my journey into the media arts. And it was a great beginning process. Of course, I did not land there initially because At that point, when a lot of my friends were going and working for like Def Jam and working for BET, at that time, I decided, I was like, you know what? I have media under my belt. I have acting and modeling under my belt. I want to go into entrepreneurship. So then that's when I opened up a performing arts center in Brooklyn. I had a performing arts center for 7 years and teaching acting and media and modeling to young women and young boys throughout Brooklyn. So that was the launch pad. And then I actually came back into media in 2000, I want to say 2012, 13. And that's when it started to take off after that.
Wow. What a trajectory. That is awesome. I love it. I love it. So can you then share some of the highlights of being on that path? What were some of the things that, number one, confirmed for you that you were on the right path, meaning media? And what are some of the aha moments that you can share with the audience that just kind of brought it all home for you?
Yes. So basically, after I started my first business, closed that down, then I relaunched my second business. It was through networking, to be honest with you, Terra. Like, I really did not know I was going to get back into media the way I did. I was having an event, actually, and one of the guest speakers at the event was Shelley Jones-Jennings. And she, at the time, was the vice president and director of media at Black Enterprise. So me and her became really, really close. And also, in addition to that, she also had just launched a new online media brand with her good friend, Angela Burt Murray, who at the time, prior to opening up Coco Fab, she was the executive, chief executive director. Not director, but she was the chief executive at Essence magazine. So them two, the collaboration was so strong. They decided to come up with an online media brand called Coco Fab. And it was separate. Yes, it was Coco Fab. It was separate from what they were doing. But it was fabulous because that was at the time when digital online media platforms were emerging around the 2012, 2013. And you started seeing all of these blogs, media blogs, but they had an engine that was behind them. They had two prominent women that were working already in the industry, and they launched this new project. So I had the pleasure of not only meeting Shelley, but actually being able to sit down and talk to her about my vision when it came to production and media and the things that I was working on. And it fell in line with what she was looking for as well. So that actually started and launched my experience in the media world. I started working with Coco Fab, developing a new series called Cocopreneur. And it was highlighting women of color, women entrepreneurs. Wow. And so we got a chance to interview a lot of people and just kind of look at their history, their story, and highlight their story and kind of put it on the map. In addition to that, I started producing for Coco Fab just red carpet events, separate events, small interviews with celebrities. It just started piling up and building up. And I never forget, Shelley had mentioned, she said to me, she was like, you know what? You have a natural ability to do this. She was like, she was always in my lane, always pushing me to go forward and to do it. So I said, okay, you know what? I am going to take this forward and I'm going to support you guys from the marketing to the promotion aspect to bringing on brands, in addition to producing major content for their platform. So, and that actually afforded me the opportunity to meet so many different people. I got a chance to interview Oprah Winfrey, which was an amazing,
Wow.
it was a special luncheon, and I was a part of that luncheon. And it was also the opening of, I want to say Queen Sugar. It was, yes, it was the opening of that. And then, you know, and it actually propelled me to do a lot of interviews with a lot of celebrities. So I became known as the correspondent that was interviewing celebrities for Coco Fab.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Well, you know, now you are the opening night host for the upcoming African American Women in Cinema Film Festival, and we are just elated by that. And can you just speak to why doing programs such as a film festival for women of color, content creators, filmmakers are important, especially in this era that we're in?
So I think it's so important that, one, we tell our story. And I think that's the main issue that we've had over the years, is that we didn't have our voice, you know, or we were finding our voice. And now that we have our voice, there are so many stories that needs to be told. So I think right now in the industry of filmmaking, I love the diversity that we have. I love to see Black women, women of color, coming together and saying, hey, I have something to say, I have something to show, and I'm going to put this together so that it can be presented in front of the masses. So I think thinking about it and thinking about like where we came from, you know, from the early 90s and things of that nature, like we didn't have platforms like, you know, we didn't have platforms like yours, like African American Women in Cinema. Like we didn't have those type of film festivals. You know, a lot of film festivals will close us off because they just felt like they didn't get it. They didn't understand what we were producing and what we were curating. Now we're the hot stuff, you know. We're hot in these streets. You know, they're looking for us. They're looking for that diversity. They're looking for our voice, and we are here to bring it. So I feel like right now, this is just the beginning. You know, if you think this is loud and we're proud about it, this is just the beginning, because I'm foreseeing in the next couple of years, you know, even the younger generation coming on board and them actually being able to tell their stories. They have to understand that, you know, Black women, we are not all the same. You know, we all have different backgrounds. We all come from different social, economical backgrounds. And we have to be able to showcase how we are in its entirety. You know, we're not only seen as just one, you know, this one way that, you know, producers in Hollywood would like us to be. And so I think this is a great time to showcase that. I think this is a great time for women in general, and especially Black women, to be out there in the forefront.
That is so awesome. And on that note, we'll be right back after these messages. You're listening to Talk with Terra, presented by African American Woman in Cinema, right here on Rudy Radio.
Hey everyone, I'm Dr. Bob Lee from 107.5 WBLS and the Make the Grade Foundation for Education. You're listening to Rudy Radio.
We're having a conversation with African American filmmakers. Join the African American Women in Cinema Filmmaker Series at the Clubhouse, presented by I Am the Color of Beautiful Global, every Monday night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. AAWIC on Clubhouse. Join us on the Clubhouse app for this inspiring conversation. Hosted by Karen Moore, founder of I Am the Color of Beautiful Global. Join us this Monday at 6 p.m. on the Clubhouse app for African American Women in Cinema's Filmmaker Series.
Hi, I'm Harry O. Confetti, international Formula One driver. I sped to get to Long Island Telecom before they closed. I need to get one of these fantastic deals that Long Island Telecom has, because you can't beat the price anywhere else. Oh, get away from that car. What are you doing? Freaking kids playing with the car out there. Anyway, I'm glad I got here. Wait, what do you mean you're closing? I got to come back tomorrow? What's your number? 631-833-9679? Oh, stop writing me a ticket.
Hey, this is Jewel Taker from the Jewel Taker Show on Impact Network. Also, you can watch me and my family on The Tankers on Prime Amazon, or watch me and my sister's Chatter Talk show on Fox. So me and my girls, Dr. Dee Freeman, Monique Eilert Mosley, Real Talk Kim, and Holly Carter, and you're watching Rudy Radio.
Welcome back to Talk with Terra. I am Terra Renee from African American Women in Cinema, and we are having our 22nd annual African American Women in Cinema series. And we're here with our opening night host, Miss Khalilah Webster. So super excited to have her. And she was just sharing with us prior to going on break the importance of women of color telling their stories, in particular in this time. Miss Webster, thank you so much for sharing that insight, and I agree with it all in its entirety. Could you just tell the audience what you have coming down the pipe after your opening night duties at the film festival?
Yeah, what I have going on personally, or just after the hosting?
Well, both. We want to share any projects or any programs that you have coming down the pipe
Yes.
that our audience can know about and support.
Yes, I mean, just like, we're in the process of, talking about Black filmmakers, women filmmakers. I think right now, my focus has always been about entrepreneurship as well. From a young Black woman starting her business at the age of 22, and then now, I'm not going to tell my age right now, but I'm 40. But I just feel like, entrepreneurship is another industry, just like the film industry, just like, it's about telling our story. It's about creating and being creative, coming up with ideas. And so right now I have a lot going on. My company is contracted with the city of New York to run some initiatives throughout the city, especially when it comes to advancing Black entrepreneurship. And so this is important. This is for our filmmakers. This is for our producers, our directors, anyone who's looking to create their own production house. This is for you. So we're running an initiative right now, a program called the BENYC Mentors Program. And one thing that I've always learned, what I've learned over the years is that we don't have enough mentorship going around. I'm always faced with people asking me, well, who can I learn from? Who can be my mentor? And mentorship is huge. It's something that's so important. And it's important for us as Black entrepreneurs, Black creatives, that we have that. It's crucial to our success. And also to, when it comes to scaling our business, having someone who's been there, done that can impart wisdom and encouragement to one another, I think is vital, is very, very important. And so we have that, and so we're launching that actually November 1st. So we're excited about that. Yes. Yeah, we're excited about that. So that is really, really a great way to kind of help and foster entrepreneurship throughout the city. So that's what I have coming down the pipes right now. And yeah, I mean, right now it's just, we're just doing what we have to do to kind of stay afloat and to support and help each other.
That's good. And I like the mentorship program, and, so grateful that you all are offering that, because it is so true. A lot of the times, it's just about having access to information, and therefore it will enable you to move forward. Not only having access, but knowing how to apply what you have garnered. So I am very excited that you are launching that program. Is there an application fee? Or I know it's launching November 1st, but is there some sort of an application fee that one would have to pay? Or how can one sign up to participate or become a part of the program?
Yeah, so the best part about this, Terra, Renee, it is free. If you are a New York City resident and you're living in the 5 boroughs, it is free to New York City residents, which is amazing, because that's the thing. As an entrepreneur, as someone who is a creative in this industry, it's very hard to kind of pay for things when you're just starting your company, right? So that's important to know. So that aspect is free. In addition to that, I forgot to also mention to you is that we also have the SBS Tech Corp. So small businesses, yes, and that's through our company as well. We're leading that. Small businesses need access to technology solutions, and they don't always have it with them, or they don't know who to go to. So through the city, we are providing free tech support for small business owners throughout the city. And they can go online and they can actually go through SBS, which is the Small Business Services, and you'll find all of those programs, and they can sign up. So if you think about it, it's like the Geek Squad for small businesses. Isn't that cool? So if they're looking to put up a website, if they're looking to put up, some other technical solutions to enhance their business and to grow their business, our team will be able to support them and help them and get them and actually meet them right where they're at to get them to the next level.
Wow. That's great. That's great. I love it. How long is the program for? So it's launching November 1st, but for how long is this program for? Right. So the BE mentorship program, that is, they can sign up and they can meet with a BE NYC mentor. We have about 30 to 40 mentors in various different industries. Wow. So we have people in the film industry, we have people in photography, in producing and directing. We have various different industries, and they are volunteering their time to meet with aspiring entrepreneurs and creatives to help them and support them. And so they can sign up as many times as they want. They will probably meet with a mentor once a month, but they can take that program. In addition to that, we have master classes where they get a chance to meet with an expert and have a conversation about various different topics. Wow, so that's great. Right. If you would like to if you want, they can also follow us at Vanguard NYC on Twitter for all of the additional details. So they can go on Twitter, Vanguard NYC, Vanguard with an E, NYC on Twitter. Great, because I was going to ask you, how could they get access and website or what have you? So thank you so much for sharing that information. What words of inspiration can you give someone who is starting out? Again, that is just awesome, the program that you're launching on November 1st. But can you speak to those who are afraid because while they recognize they do have a calling of sorts, you know, they may not be in an environment that is supportive and conducive for them to launch out, if you will, and you know, sign up for your class and expose to the world the gifting and the calling that they have on their life. What would you say, words of inspiration to someone like that?
Yes, so it's a couple things that come into mind for me. I would always say surround yourself with the right people, the people that may be smarter than you sometimes. I always say that because not saying that, you know, you're not smart, but just saying that try to surround yourself with people that have that are experts in different areas, and so that it's like iron sharpens iron. You know, you can have friends. You rather have friends that's just not doing anything with your life, or would you have friends and people that you know where it's sort of like a meeting of the minds, where you're having meaningful conversations and you are literally, you know, helping each other kind of work some things out, you know, whether it's your business or your creative process or something, you know, so definitely surround yourself with the right people. And my thing is this, you know, and it's a very well-known statement, you know, every setback is a setup for a comeback. And so even though, you know, you may feel like you're not in a position, or you may feel like, you know, okay, I didn't do my best, or everything is working against me. That doesn't mean that you failed. You know, there's this thing called failing forward. So I look at it as like this, you know, if you feel like you missed the mark, because that's what sometimes failing is. I don't want to use failing as such a negative word. Sometimes I would say I just missed the mark. I was aiming here, but I missed the mark. Now, what I have to do is I have to figure out what did I learn from this lesson right here? What did I miss? And then I take all the things that I've missed, or the things that I'm learning from, and I say, okay, how can I do this better? How can for the next time I don't miss the mark? You know? So I think what's important for us to do is to take a step back and to evaluate. You know, evaluate what it is that you're working on, evaluate what it is that you want as far as your goals, and don't be discouraged. Surround yourself with people, positive individuals that are going to support you, that love you, and that is going to encourage you to keep pressing on and moving forward. And I think that that's the key right there.
And that is the key. I mean, wow, that's just very powerful. I love that. I'm going to adopt that, Khalilah. I didn't fail. I just missed the mark. And it's so true. You know, words have power. And I think that a lot of us don't recognize the power that each word contains. And it is so true on how you position them, which will really set you up in terms of your next step. And so that was so well executed and stated. I will definitely be using that term myself, Khalilah. So thank you for sharing. Really appreciate that. Any last minute thoughts?
Thank you. No, I enjoyed myself. Definitely having this talk with you. You are also an inspiration to others. So I'm just so happy to have this conversation with you, and you know, and I'm actually happy for your journey and the things that you're working on as well. You always know that you have my support, of course, all day, and I'm looking forward towards the future, the things that you're going to do. I know God has much bigger things. I know you've done big things already, but I know God has even bigger plans for you. So I'm excited just to say that I know Miss Terra Renee.
Well, I certainly appreciate you. And it's, as you stated so well, it is important to have wonderful and positive people around you. So that way, what's been placed inside of you have the opportunity to grow, develop, and nourish. And we really, really appreciate that. So at this point, thank you so much for listening to Talk with Terra, and I will see you on the next episode.